Hi hun, welcome to another video on the channel, and if you are new, join the circle by hitting the subscribe button because you do not want to not be here. Okay, so today in this video I'm going to be sharing with you 4 things that you need to do before you get knotless braids to prevent damage, to prevent breakage, to prevent all the bad things from happening to your hair. Knotless braids is mostly seen as a protective style, but there are so many things about it that can go very wrong if you don't do these 4 things. Okay, so let's get straight into the video. The first thing is, before you even do the knotless braids in the first place, you need to clarify your hair and scalp. This is very important because you are going to do these knotless braids and you're probably going to keep them in for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 2 months, depending on the type of person that you are. And there is a high likelihood that you are not going to wash your hair throughout that entire period. So it is not advisable that you start the process without clarifying. When I say clarify, I mean wipe clean slate. Nothing is there. You have to wash everything away. No build up, no product, nothing. Your hair should be stripped down to its bare drawers. You know what I'm saying? So get yourself a clarifying shampoo, not a moisturizing shampoo this time. There is a difference. You need to wash your hair and scalp, make sure that everything is clean so that you are starting out on a clean blank slate, so that your hair can go all these many weeks that you plan to carry these styles with fairly more ease than if you started with build up and then throughout the process it's just going to keep building up and building up and building up. It's just going to be a lot by the time you want to take down your braids. Okay, so make sure you clarify your hair and scalp before you get your braids. The next thing you ought to do after clarifying your hair can get really dry because, like I said, you're going to strip your hair of everything. Clarifying shampoos are not the shampoos that don't strip. They strip. That is their work. So now you've clarified your hair. What next? You need to now reinfuse good, healthy, new, clean moisture into your hair. How do you do that, you may ask? Use a deep conditioner. Now, if you know me, you know that I'm not really a fan of using deep conditioner on every single wash day, and if you skip deep conditioner on one wash day, you have committed a very terrible sin against the natural hair gods. I use deep conditioners regularly, don't get me wrong, but I don't use it like every week. I use it like every 2 weeks, maybe once a month, maybe once in 2 months. But this one, like before you do your braids, make sure you use deep conditioner. Even me, before I got these braids done, I had to go and buy deep conditioner to use before putting it in, because like I said, you're going to keep these braids. You know that I know that we know that you're going to keep these braids for at least 1 month. For that 1 month, yes, you're going to be re-moisturizing your hair, and we're going to get to that. But before you even start, it's good that you give your hair like a little bit of a moisture boost, a little bit of a head start before you get the braids done. Okay, very important. And then get yourself like a very good leave-in conditioner. This whole second tip is that you moisturize your hair. First tip was to clarify, next tip is to moisturize. So when it comes to moisturizing, using only deep conditioner does not cut it. You have to make sure that you use a good leave-in conditioner as well to just like seal in that moisture. Deep conditioner basically moisturizes like the inside of your strands. That's why you rinse it off. It's not for the outside, it's for the inside. It's to push in moisture into your hair strands, into your hair shaft, to moisturize your hair from inside. You get? So now you've moisturized inside, you now have to moisturize outside, and that's where your leave-in conditioner comes in. So once you finish clarifying, you apply your deep conditioner, then you use your leave-in conditioner. Then if you are the kind of person that uses oils or butters to seal in your hair, then go ahead and do that. But I wouldn't really advise it. I know. If you want to get like the full context of that, I did a video about oils and butters, and I'm going to link it in the description, so you can go and watch that after this video to get like more clarity on the issue. But in summary, I wouldn't really advise that, because you want to be able to re-moisturize your hair throughout the time that you are going to carry your braids. And let's say you carry your braids for 4 weeks, and before you do your braids, you have already sealed in moisture with oil and butter. Then that means that there is a film of oil and butter over your hair. So when you now want to re-moisturize your hair, the moisture will have a harder time getting to your hair strands because it has to pass through that oil, that butter, and all that. I really went into in depth into this explanation in that other video that I mentioned, the one about oils and butters. I'm going to link it in the description so you can go and watch that later. But basically, just moisturize your hair at the very least. Make sure at the very least you use leave-in conditioner. So now you have clarified, you have moisturized. The next thing that you need to do, absolutely need to do this before you go to the salon, and this is especially for people with natural hair, you absolutely need to stretch your hair. It's very important, because you see these salon people, they don't care about your natural hair. They will not give you special treatment. Once you open your hair and they see it's natural, they will start grumbling and murmuring under their breath. You can hear them. You can hear them. And then even if you go to a natural hair salon, a lot of the natural hair salons, so I mean, they're trying, but to stretch your hair, they can charge you extra. So just to be on the safe side, try to stretch your hair by yourself before you go to the salon. Now, you don't necessarily need to use a blow dryer, although if you are not afraid of using heat in your hair, then a blow dryer will be the best way to go. It's very fast. You can basically do everything I just mentioned, the washing, the moisturizing, everything, and then the stretching with the blow dryer on the same day, and you can go to the salon and get your hair done. It's faster. But if you are somebody that doesn't use heat at all in your hair, then what you can do is the day before, or maybe 2 days before, you can wash your hair, moisturize, do everything, and then you can put your hair, like, let's say, in bands, twists, braids, whatever you use to stretch your hair, and you can just leave it to air dry over the next few days before you go and actually get your hair done. But make sure that in one way or the other your hair is stretched, so that the combing, the detangling, the parting will not be like hell for you. That's one mistake I know I made. I didn't properly stretch my hair before going to get these braids done, and I kid you not, it set me back. Like, it was, I won't say it was painful, because I went to a natural hair salon, so they really tried their best, but I am tender-headed, so in as much as I saw that they were really trying their best, like they were really applying leave-in conditioner, trying to use a white tooth comb to detangle and everything, it still hurts. So to skip all that and to make the process easier, faster, and to also prevent breakage, because when they are doing all those things, that's hair that is breaking away. When they are trying to comb, when they are trying to detangle, when they are trying to, use their own methods and styles, because to be honest, nobody can really treat your hair the way you would. So even if they are trying to be gentle, they will still, like, some pain will be inflicted, some breakage will happen. So it's better if you just stretch your hair before you even step into the salon at all in the first place. The fourth thing that I would advise is that you get yourself a moisture mist that you can use to be moisturizing your hair as you carry the braids. The first 3 tips that I gave you are things that you should do before you even step into the salon in the first place. But this one is just as important, because right after the knotless braids, you still have to continue to take care of them, especially if you want to do all those things that I said at the beginning of the video, which is prevent breakage, prevent damage, prevent, edge loss, and all those kind of things. You still need to continue to take care of your hair. And my advice when you have knotless braids is, don't use your leave-in conditioner to moisturize your hair. That is why I specifically mentioned that you should go and get yourself a moisture mist, because if you are using a leave-in conditioner, that's just going to accelerate the rate of build-up on your hair and on your scalp, because leave-in conditioner, that thing is very slippery, and you won't notice. It has a way of slipping down the shaft to your scalp and settling there, and then causing build-up and blockage on your scalp. So I wouldn't really advise you to use leave-in conditioner on a style like knotless braids that you're going to keep for over 2 weeks. If you leave your hair for too long without washing it, it starts your scalp. If you scratch your scalp, you start seeing black residue in your nails. Your hair begins to feel very weighed down. Your scalp becomes itchy. Your hair begins to smell. Is because of the layer upon layer upon layer of all these build up. So when you are going to do knotless braids, and you know that you're going to keep the braids for a very long time without washing your hair or scalp, then it is very important that you go for products with lighter consistencies, because not moisturizing it is very bad. It can cause your hair to break even more within the extensions, because your hair is woven into the extension, so there is friction between your hair and the extension. And when your hair is dry and friction is applied to it, what happens? Breakage. And we don't want breakage. So you have to make sure that you moisturize your hair often and you use a moisture mist, because using a leave-in conditioner will cause what? build up. I'm breaking it down like this because I don't think I've seen a video where somebody broke it down this way, and I think it's something that is very important for people to actually know before they go and do knotless braids, because that is why a lot of people, when they finish doing their knotless braids and they take it down, they see a lot of breakage, they see a lot of damage, your edges are gone, everything is just like it's just not the way it was before you did the knotless braids. I feel like these are the things that you need to do, these are the things that you need to know before you get knotless braids. Okay, when you get the moisture mist, then you still have to know how to maximize its effect, and I did a video on how to moisturize your hair in braids. I'm also going to link that in the description so you can go and watch it and learn how to take care of your hair in braids, because that is actually really, really important. It's the difference between braids as a protective style and braids as a destructive style. Bonus tip here: the best thing for braids is to get yourself a satin scarf, or all those super long bonnets that people are doing, that brands are doing nowadays, that's specifically for braids. But if you can't get your hands on that one, get yourself a scarf. I wouldn't advise a bonnet because a bonnet is probably not even big enough in the first place. But if your bonnet is big enough, then I guess you can go ahead and use that. But if your bonnet is not, then I would advise that you use a scarf to keep the hair out of your face and to cover the area where your hair is. The thing that people don't realize about braids is that most of the length of the braid is just extension. Where you really, really ought to pay attention to is where your hair stops in the extensions. Okay, so you have to take care. What you're taking care of is not actually the braids, it's your hair. All right, so when you are moisturizing, when you are protecting, when you are covering it to go to bed at night, make sure you focus on this top area where your hair actually is within the braids. And the best way I think you can do that is to get yourself a scarf, and then you tie the scarf over this top section, and then you can go to bed. Some people might say, okay, what about a satin pillowcase? I wouldn't advise a satin pillowcase simply because your hair might be fine on satin, because I mean it's satin, but then braids all over your face, all over your neck when you are sleeping, that can be very comfortable and that can be very good for your skin either. So I still feel like the best way to go to bed, like to prepare yourself to go to bed at night when you are with knotless braids, is to actually tie a scarf. So if you don't have a scarf, make sure you get one before you go and get the knotless braids. You know why? You're probably going to finish in the evening or in the night. Then you're going to come home, and then what are you going to do? You didn't buy your scarf. You don't have anything to use to go to bed. What are you going to do? So make sure you get your scarf before you get your braids. All right, so those are all the tips that I have. I hope that you learned something. I hope it was helpful for you. If it was, please let me know in the comments. I love getting feedback on my videos because it helps me improve and it helps me serve you better. Hope you have liked this video, because you can't learn all this thing and not like the video. I mean, come on now. If you made it this far, this is the video where I explain how to moisturize your hair in knotless braids, and in this video I explain everything that you need to know before you go and get knee length braids. These are two very interesting videos and I think that you're going to love them. Alrighty then, that is it for this video and I'll see you in my next one. Mwah! Bye.